welcome to another episode of Life and Moto podcast. Today, I'm just going to kind of be winging it. Today has been a little chaotic for me, super busy, and it's super cold outside. One of the biggest things I want to talk about is this weekend Supercross. Oh man, was there some stuff going on. Freezy has just created this continuous controversy. I mean, we all know it. If we've been following long enough, it's kind of nothing new, unfortunately. So, one of the things I wanted to bring up, I did put out in the podcast last episode on Friday that I was talking about sponsorships. And apparently, I didn't get the word out good enough, or not enough people caught the episode, because I didn't say anything on social media platforms. So, I'm going to put that a little more on the social media platforms tonight, that in, last week's episode on Friday, I did announce the sponsorships. And I'm just looking forward to maybe hearing from you guys, seeing what you guys want. One of the things I would like to do is coming up for tomorrow's episode. I'm going to put this out there. I'll also put it on social media. But I want to know why everybody rides where they ride. Why do people like Skyline? Why do people like OMC? And why is there always the desert guys? Just try to get an idea of why you like certain tracks, why you don't like certain tracks. And I just want to get it out there. I want to have it to where those that are coming into the world of moto, new to the area, they have options. They can listen to the podcast and say, okay, well, based off of this or that, I think I'm going to go try this track out. Or, hey, I think I'm going to go try desert. I've been doing a little more enduro where I came from, or this is kind of where I want to start things, and this is kind of where I want to go with things. So let's do that. We're going to do to where I would love to hear back from all of you guys on tomorrow's episode, to where we can have a little bit of a conversation. Also looking to maybe have, under the right circumstances, the right person, give me a Zoom call, get that on live, and get that going for the podcast as well. Might be a little harder for the YouTube channel, but that's on me to figure out, not you guys. So one of the biggest things is, for me, I'm a desert guy. Always have been, and I always will be. It's one of those things. I've never really succeeded on the track. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I was never directionally pointed that direction, never really took the time to understand it. I can go down and throw down a little bit, but nowhere near am I a fast enough rider to be on a track. Not that I'm super fast on the desert, but at least I'm willing to admit that. At least I'm able to say, hey, yeah, MX stuff, that's more for you guys. Love to hear why you guys chose MX and so forth. But yeah, desert, I don't know. There's just something about, the unknown while you're riding and while you're racing, to come up to something and you only have a glip of second to realize that there's some blue ribbon or there's some danger ribbon or so forth, to know, okay, I got to slow down. I got to change up my stuff. And I think for me, that's the biggest thing. It's just having that unknown and really pushing myself and really challenging myself to be better. And with the track, you do one lap and you pretty much know, for the most part, where that corner's at, where this turn's at, where it's a little washed out, where it's getting more ruts, where it's getting cross-rutted, and so forth going forward. So, yeah, and I don't know, everybody's got their own opinions, everybody's got their own direction, their own ideas, but for me, I'm a desert guy, and I probably will be. So what I'm looking to do is get a couple of your guys' opinions on why you ride OMC, why you ride Skyline, maybe why you hate Skyline, maybe why you hate OMC. Those are the things I'm looking forward to. I want to know these things to where we can better the podcast and better the knowledge for everybody that's involved in wanting to get into riding. That's huge, and I know it is. So that's the whole thing. And I know I'd said there were some things coming up with All Things and myself, and we're still in the works of that. We both have busy lives and just trying to work through that stuff. I literally raced home from doing a project I was working on today just to get this podcast done. I still have to edit it and all that, and hopefully get it out tonight. But moving forward, I would like to get a little more feedback. It's kind of what I'm hoping for. A little more from you guys. What do you guys want to know? What are you guys looking to understand? What is it you guys want to talk about? And maybe give me some topic ideas that I can have to do research and I have to do some homework on and make this podcast better for everybody. So that's kind of my goal. Tonight's episode is probably going to be a little bit short just due to timing, try to get this done, trying to get it to where I can get this out to you guys in a timely fashion. And I know that's on me. I worked a little later on the project, but yeah. So let's hear from you guys. I'm going to put this on social media as well, at Life and Moto 21. That's on Instagram as well as TikTok. But I want to hear from you guys. What are the tracks that you guys like? What are the tracks you guys do not like? And let's hear from it. And then maybe, based on what kind of experiences and expressions I get from you guys, maybe I can reach out to these other, tracks like Skyline and say, hey, this is kind of the following I'm getting from a census. People love your track for this, or people are hating your track because of that. Same with OMC, and just kind of help build this to where, maybe down the road I could get, the leader of OMC and the leader of Skyline. I'm not going to mention names, but get those people together in a room and say, look, I want to be the buffer. I want to be the middleman for your two's decisions and for your argument's sake and this and that, and kind of almost be like a therapist, one could say, for the two, because what I would love to see down the road is like a conjoined series where, half the series is at OMC, the other half is at Skyline, and then at the end of the year, it's a combined annual scoring. And not just, I only race OMC because that's where I like to ride and so forth, but make it to where it's like you have to kind of like ride this track, ride that track to get your points. That's something I'm kind of like, I think would be really, really cool and could really definitely make the moto scene better. But that would also, like I said, take sitting both them down and saying, hey, people like Skyline because your track's a little more newer, a little more innovative, you put a little more of this into it. Or OMC, hey, you're a little more organized, you're a little more like out there with the bigger names and so forth. Like, how can we bring these two tracks together? And how do we involve desert? How do we do something like that to where maybe you have to do something locally where you have to do one desert race, one MX track race at Skyline, and one MX track race at OMC, and so forth, And I don't know enough about the other tracks in the valley or in the area outside of like the Boise surrounding areas. I know that we have some in Mountain Home, and there's even some other ones out further on the eastern Idaho, but I don't know. So that's where I'm looking to you guys to get that information, get that intel to where we can help make this more informative for everybody, including myself, obviously. So with that, let's just put it this way. I'm going to put it out there on Instagram. I'm going to put it out there on TikTok. Feedback is huge. Tell me why you guys like certain tracks. Tell me why you don't like certain tracks. Let's get this a little heated. Let's find out what the root is for all of these different tracks, why everybody likes these tracks, or why they don't like these tracks. And I know that, in a sense, I'm kind of stirring the pot, but it's like, I feel like without enough noise, we can't get success. We can't make this go further. I can't say, hey, go ride this track or that track because this is better or that's better if I don't have all the intel from you guys. Because I can have a personal opinion and say, hey, don't even go to this track or don't go to that track. This is a joke. Don't even try there. But that's not what I want. I want your guys' feedback to where then we can make a conjoined community effort of trying to either fix these problems, make these problems better, and move forward. Because I want a bigger MX scene. I want a bigger motocross scene. I just want dirt bike community in general better. We've lost every bit of it over the last 5 to 10 years. I feel like it's just literally fallen off. We don't have the clubs in the desert world that are talking to each other. Club hates this club. That club doesn't like this club and how they put it on. And so, this is the only way we can make any kind of difference is if we actually take the time and put the effort in and saying, hey, this club is not doing well with this club. How can we fix this? Can we spread these two events out? Or can we switch the order of the events to make it to where this club feels happier and that club's better and we have better races to put on for all of us? But like I keep saying, feedback is huge. I need your guys' participation. I know it's hard. I know it's time consuming, but just give me 2 minutes, just 2 to 5 minutes of your time. Send me a DM and say, hey, this is why I like this track, and that's why I ride that track. Or if you have more time, give me a why you ride this track, hate that track. And I will put something together in a census and say, hey, this is where we're at. This is where I'm coming up with from everybody in the community and not just my opinion. That's what matters. It's not just my hatred, my dislike, my unknowing, my unknowledge that's making these dictatable decisions. You guys are what makes this what it is. So with that, we're going to keep pushing forward. I want to get more of you guys engaged. I'm trying to build the podcast, trying to build the following. I've reached out to some bigger names, kind of hoping that we can get those names involved. Local guys, local stuff going on, bigger names, and even some people that are outside of just the moto world that we can bring into this is in the life side of moto. So reach out to me on Instagram at lifeandmoto21. Hit me up with a direct message. Say, hey, this is why I like this track. This is why I hate this track. And so forth. Just give me 2 to 5 minutes of your time. I don't need a whole lot. Let's just go from there. And same for us desert guys, okay? I have my opinions. I know a lot of you have yours too, but we need to get some voices out there. Why are we failing? I look at like where we're going with this desert race. I'm not seeing the production. I'm not seeing the scenes. I'm not seeing the growth in these events that we need to keep it alive. And that's the last thing I want to do is have some of these events die off, not be around no more, just because of either club leaders can't get it together, team members can't get it together, people can't follow rules. I know for desert guys, the biggest problem is nobody can follow the rules. Stay on the dang course. Stay where it's marked to where we don't lose our riding chances. Oh, man, that one gets me hot. That one will get me literally fired up, and I could probably talk about that kind of drama and that kind of stuff for 45 minutes to an hour long, and literally all it would be is me raving and ranting and complaining about it. And that's not what I want. I want general senses from everybody, why they do what they do, what they would like to maybe see in the future, and we can put all that together. But all I want from you guys is why you ride a certain track, why you don't ride another track, and so forth. And for desert guys, tell me why you don't like racing the desert no more. Tell me why you're not putting the effort in to go to the different events. Those are the things I want to know, and I want to make it better, because I'm not afraid to be that voice. I'm not afraid to rattle cages. I'm not afraid to approach people and say, look, this is a problem. I'm literally getting these emails, these messages saying, this is why people aren't going here. This is why we don't go there anymore. That's what I want. I want to make it to where it's in their face. They have to make changes. They have to adjust, because without change, without adjustments, we're going to lose this sport. We're going to have people not wanting to ride it anymore, not wanting to participate in the events, and so forth. So please, please reach out to me, direct message me, tell me these things. I hope by tomorrow's episode, I'm hoping to have 500 messages, but we all know that doesn't always happen. But just give me something, you guys. Give me something to help build a voice, build a program, build a podcast that's informative about motocross. Because before long, we're not going to have it. Our kids and anybody new coming into this isn't going to have anything. So please speak up, say what you want, and I will help be the voice for everybody and say, look, this has got to change. This has got to get better. Or, hey, we're going to lose this sport. We're going to lose the following. We're going to lose the guidance here in Idaho, and everybody's going to start riding everywhere else. How does that benefit us? It doesn't. So, with that, I know I went on a tangent. I know I'm a little emotional, a little more like compassionate about this, but it's huge. It's huge. Especially coming from a father that has a kid that wants to do these things, and I look at the different sport options when it comes to dirt bike riding, and it's like I have 3 options in 3 different places and 3 different styles. Like, come on. We need to get something together to where it's better, more available, more options, more rideability, like just in general. So I will repeat it again. Reach out to me, direct message me on Instagram at lifeandmoto21, and please, as always, keep 2 wheels down and never be afraid to reach out.